Alright, welcome to the fucking Hagen Nation show for February 1st, 2019. Today is Friday evening at 6 p.m. I'm recording this. This podcast will mostly be about the Super Bowl preview and the halftime show. Well, I think it's a joke, because it is a joke. And then I got two other stories that one broke yesterday, the Mavs and Knicks trade, and I just found another story. Hold on. The Mavs and Knicks traded. I'll get into all that. Dolphins are releasing Tannerhill and the Anthony Davis spiel. So, if you're not a sports fan, this is not a podcast for you, other than maybe the halftime show portion. Now, you're probably asking, why does Hagen sound rather quiet, and what does he make that sound? Well, I have a cold going on. I have a fever and a headache, and so I'm not going to talk about this voice, so we'll see how it goes. I just want to record this very quickly. It'll probably be 20 to 30 minutes, honestly. I'll do a longer one next week. I might do two next week, but let's see. Oh yes, social media. I'm on Twitter at Hagen Nation, Instagram at Hagen_Nation. There's an email, kansasboy2000@gmail.com. All that will be in the link in the description below. What else? Also, if you want to advertise, if you have a product, hit me up on one of those three sites. I have no fucking advertising, so, if somebody wants to sell a product, I'll give you a good rate for it. I'll sell anything, I don't care at this point. What else? Oh yeah, I'll probably be doing a couple podcasts with my friend here in the next couple of weeks. She and I have opposite schedule. Oh, she and I have both busy schedules, so we're trying to record something and then play to you guys. So expect that in I'd say next 4 weeks or something. But as soon as I hear something from that person, I'll let you know. Alright. Let's get into it. Last week it was my sinuses because it was fucking going from 40 to 80, 40 to goddamn 80. Now it's my head, so it's one thing to another here for Mr. Hagen Bentley. Alright. So, and yes, I did try to watch a Pro Bowl and I tweeted this during the game. I would rather projectile vomit after ingesting 2 bottles of Fireball whiskey. 2 bottles of Fireball whiskey at the same time my house was being set on fire by arson, and rather watch a Pro Bowl again. I mean, that was a disgrace. Okay, who gives a shit? Jason Witten almost booked the trophy. Guy's a fucking idiot. Anyway, the Super Bowl is on Sunday, as you can imagine. Everybody's talking about it. Let's get into the game first, and then I'll get into the halftime show, and then I'll get into the commercials, and why I think the last two are overrated. Contrast of coaches, that's for sure. I mean, for the New England Patriots, I mean, you have Bill Belichick. He's 67 going on 68. One of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach in NFL history. 5 Super Bowls with a win that'll get him to 6. And him and Tom Brady. I mean, what does this do to their legacy? If they win, that just further sets themselves apart from the greatest of all time debate. if not, I don't think it hurts. It hurts as much because going to 9 Super Bowls is something I don't think we've ever seen, and I don't think we'll ever see that again. So, I mean, even Buffalo in the 90s when they went to 4 straight Super Bowls, I mean, that's still a hell of a feat because you played against 14 or 15 other teams and you won your conference 4 years straight in Buffalo in the early 90s. You know, they were just outclassed by the NFC every year other than the first one, which the kicker missed wide right to end the game against the Giants. Other than that, I mean, 2 losses against the Cowboys and then the loss against the Washington Redskins. But going back to Belichick, I mean, this doesn't change a thing. If he loses, that doesn't change a thing. Everyone, it's like the end of the world Phillies now. Wins the date, but the Patriots dynasty will finally come to a close. Everyone says by week 3, oh, look at New England, they haven't done anything. Think again, because you just, and they get it every single fucking year. They don't have to place the Tambo century. You can just go through the motions and do that. Now, like I said, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, already the greatest quarterback duet to play in the Super Bowl of all time or any time. 9 Super Bowls in, 17, 18 years that's pretty amazing stuff. Also, on the other side, you got the youngest coach in the NFL, Mr. Sean McVay at, 33 years old. He's been young. This is his 3rd year, so second year. Lack of inexperience could be a huge disadvantage for the Rams. The Patriots are favored by 2.5. And something that we'll see. It'll be a very interesting game. Jared Goff and Sean McVay. So I think the two, along with Patrick Mahomes of Kansas City, Baker Mayfield of Cleveland, I think that's going to be the future of the NFL. I really do. As far as the quarterback position goes, maybe not so much who's winning the Super Bowl, but your stars of the league are largely your quarterbacks. Goff, Mahomes, Mayfield, maybe Dwayne Haskins. We'll just see. As far as that goes. But I honestly think the Rams will be shell-shocked quite a bit. Then again, they beat New Orleans at New Orleans. So if you can beat New Orleans in that environment, it does. You definitely have a shot against the Patriots. I don't think anybody's denying that. I just think the experience goes a long way for him. Because Sean McVay, prior to this, he was the offensive coordinator for the Redskins. So it wasn't like Peterson last year, Doug Peterson, when he was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks. And they went to all those playoff appearances in the conference title games in the Super Bowl, and they won a Super Bowl in 2014 when he was defensive coordinator. So it's not like last year, and it's not like Nick Foles either, because Nick Foles went to St. Louis, Kansas City, and they saw different styles. Both teams have important offense. I think we can all agree on that. These teams, if they go, they might start off slow. They might have a scoreless quarter, even though I don't think it's going to be it. Excuse me. But, the offensives can click in a moment's notice, so a lot of points can and I think will be scored. 56.5 seems rather low to me. Even full Super Bowl. Now, if it was a defense like Denver's 3 years ago, or Seattle's, I would say probably under. But, I mean, both defenses have been cold in the last 2 to 3 months of the year. New England gave up 31 to Kansas City in overtime. Los Angeles gave up 23 to New Orleans, 22 to Dallas, 32 to the Niners, 30 to the Eagles. It has not been that kind of a year, but here we are. Here's the evolution of the NFL. NFL has been more offensive driven versus defensive driven over the past 10 or 20 years. And these two teams, little known fact, these teams met at Super Bowl 36 in New Orleans in 2001. The Rams were a huge favorite because they have greater show on turf with Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, all those players. And you had to be underdog, and it's hard to believe if you're my age or lower than my age. Underdog and probably sentimental favorites. I mean, the Patriots. Super Bowl 36 took place after the 2001 NFL season. So this was the first Super Bowl post 9/11. The Patriots, they have a lot of American symbolism. They also have, the first Super Bowl appearance, an opportunity to win their first Super Bowl, and they were a massive underdog in that game. And I watched that game earlier this week, and the Patriots got off to a good start. They led 17-3. The Rams came back, scored 2 quick touchdowns in the fourth. God damn it. Just burped, actually. And then Adam Vinatieri, the ageless wonder, he's still in the league. Bless his heart. He kicked the game winner to beat the Rams and to shock the NFL world. And all on, it seems like the fans have been reversed. Well, the Patriots are favorites, and the Rams are this new team, the Johnny-come-lately, the new kid in town kind of stuff. So who wants it more? I honestly think the Rams wanted more. As a team compared to the Patriots, I mean, you got Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp before that ACL tail. You got a lot of players, and I don't think one of them's played in a Super Bowl. So Rams are going to be more hungry. Okay, that's obvious. When compared to the, much like the Eagles and the Falcons were. Do they win? I do not think they win. There's a couple reasons for that. Okay, number one, as I said, experience, skill. New England, I think New England will master the Rams' pass rush with Donald and Sue and all those players, the defensive ends and the linebackers. I think they'll master that. So instead of 1-on-1, I think they'll do some slants, some inside routes, some short routes to disrupt that. And the big stage. No stage is too big for the Rams. We've been proving that. It just, almost everything goes with the Patriots. Experience, Patriots, defense. Maybe the Rams on the defense, who knows? You can have a pick 'em there. Efficiency, the Patriots. Game-winning clutch, the Patriots. Tom Brady doesn't beat himself all that often, and when you do, you're going to have to take advantage. And here's another thing. When you get inside the red zone, if your Rams over Patriots, you don't have to score a touchdown. You can't settle for 3 points. You can't settle for field goals. You just can't. Now, I think this game barely goes over the total, 56.5, and I think the Patriots will cover the 2.5 point spread. If you're a gambler or just want to know my opinion, I'm going to go with the Patriots 34-24. So you can write that down. It will be a good game. I think it'll be close all game. I just think the Patriots might pull away in the fourth. If it's a blowout, I think it'll be a rather low-scoring game. If it's a shootout or close, I think a high-scoring game is more likely to break out. Though, in Atlanta, and oh, by the way, Atlanta had a huge ice storm. They did have an ice storm. So I'm sure that's been fun to clean up. And the media's been bitching about that because the media bitches about everything today in the year 2019, the year of our Lord and Savior. But, Atlanta, it will warm back up by kickoff Sunday night. Now, the game's being played inside a dome, of course, so the weather will not be a factor. But if you want to hang out in the game, the high will be in the low 60s, and then by the end of the game, it'll be around 50. So, not terrible. I don't think there'll be much wind involved. It'll be a rather nice Super Bowl environment outside. The pre-game, the pre-hype, CBS has like 6 hours or something like that. It sounds like 18 days. But it's ridiculous how much pre-game there is. I can get on my iPad 5 minutes prior to the game and talk about as much stuff as they do for 4 hours. You do not need a 4-hour pre-game. Okay? And that's something these networks need to learn. Especially CBS. I've seen CBS do it. Fox and NBC is not as bad. I think it's NBC's got like a 3-hour pregame show, and Fox has got like a 3.5. But CBS starts at noon. Tony Romo going to the Super Bowl, and I agree. Tony Romo has been the best color commentator by far. What he did in the New England-Kansas City game was just incredible. Basically calling plays before they even happened. I have not seen a commentator do that in a long time. It just shows you him and Nance are basically the best broadcast team, I think, in the NFL by a country mile. And it's good. So I agree, showcase that, maybe a segment, but an hour, I don't think warrants that. Then the Hall of, I don't know what they're doing between 1 and 2, and then from 2 to 6:30, James Brown, not Tony Gonzalez, Belcow, Boomer Esiason, Phil Simms, Nate Burleson. It's like, okay, James Brown, and we're talking about the NFL pregame show on CBS. James Brown literally looks like someone took a big shit on his forehead. And when you go bald like that, Google up James Brown CBS, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Look up his hair. When you go bald like that, shave that fucking shit off. What's with these people? They have hair up here. They have hair on the side or the back, but they have none in the front. Just shave that fucking shit off. Jesus fucking Christ. But then again, that team's just not good. Phil Simms overstating the obvious, old person syndrome. Nate Burleson doesn't do anything for me, and Boomer Esiason is basically a yes man. I agree. I can see where you're coming from. Just not good. And I'm not gonna watch that, but people are gonna watch 4.5 hours of that nonsense bullshit. Okay? Although, I make it bad as it seems. The Super Bowl halftime show will be worse. And than the CBS pregame crew, whatever you want to call them. Maroon 5 is gonna be the headliner of the halftime show if you've been living under a rock for the past 4 months. Why? Also, they're gonna feature local act Travis Scott as well. I guess he's a rapper. I don't pay attention to current music events, so I don't know. But why? Number one, old Maroon 5 is way better than Maroon 5 the past 10 years. You can go to the older songs, the songs off Songs About Jane, which was like 2003. This Love, She Will Be Loved, Sunday Morning. That whole album has been really good. It's held up very well. But ever since Moves Like Jagger, when they did that with, what's her face? Christina Aguilera, whatever. It's been one cheesy hit after another. It's basically Phil Collins on steroids, but worse. Okay? Payphone was pretty good. I'll take Payphone back. Payphone was pretty good. One More Night, Animals, Baby I'm Planning on You Tonight. I can't sing that high because my voice is fucked up. But Baby I'm Planning on You Tonight, hunt you down each eye. It's like animals. Oh, shut the fuck up. Auto-tune, pre-recorded bullshit. Okay? And then, I swear to God, they're gonna play this song, and it'll just make me want to projectile vomit again. Because I fucking hate it. Sugar, yes, please. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Motherfucker, play This Love. But play, what else? What else do they have? Play anything other than that. Literally anything. Even Moves Like Jagger I like better than that shit. Oh, shit. And then Travis Scott, I don't know why the NFL contacted him. I think they knew the Super Bowl halftime show was going to be shit again. So, I mean, that's great thinking, NFL. I mean, the Super Bowl halftime's going down shit's creek. So let's decide to pay 2 shit artists instead of 1. Okay? And then, like I said, pre-recorded. It's all pre-recorded. It's all lip-synced. It's all automated. It's all auto-tuned. Very little of it's real. You can just look up Red Hot Chili Peppers and you can see that it was pre-recorded. And they had no choice. I think Flea talked about that later on, that they had no choice. The NFL told them, look, this is going to be pre-recorded. But Super Bowl halftime show's a joke. And I'll tell you, remember I told you Super Bowl 36 was the first Super Bowl after 9/11? U2 was the halftime show act in 2002. Okay, go look that up on YouTube. That's what its Super Bowl halftime show should be. Okay, it shouldn't be any of this bullshit auto-tune. That was real motion. And then from like 05 to about 2010, you know, you have Bruce Springsteen, The Who, Prince. Who else? artists like that, artists that have been there for 30 or 40 years, that have essentially given their heart out to the music industry should be on now. Not Maroon 5, not Travis Scott, not fucking Justin Timberlake, have not contributed much of anything. Timberlake's largely responsible for this political correct nonsense anyway. Because of what he did to Janet Jackson in 04. And that's not good. Still hate Timberlake for that. Can't stop feeling! I'm gonna just put my head through that fucking wall when I get done with this shit. Anyway. Okay, and you know what it's for? It's for chicks, number one. And it's for 16-year-olds. To go to have an excuse. Oh, I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. And I know the whole dumb argument. Men are gonna watch. So let's get chicks and kids to watch. But you know what the problem is most of the time? Those deals that you pick up during the Super Bowl halftime show are not going to be there over third and fourth quarter. They're not going to watch the Pro Bowl the week after, or even though I know it's the week before. They're definitely not watching the NFL draft combine in March, and they're not watching the NFL draft in April. No, they're interested in the Hall of Fame, over preseason, over next regular season. Okay, it's going to be for that 10 or 12 minutes that Maroon 5 and Travis Scott will be there for chicks and 16-year-olds, and that's predominantly it. No man should be excited about Maroon 5. I'll give it until you're like 25. Other than that, what are you doing? You should be pissed. Okay. What's next year? Kanye West or something? I mean, come on. Have some integrity. Fucking hate the Super Bowl halftime show. It's, like I said, pre-recorded nonsense. And you know what? You know what would make a good Super Bowl halftime show? I gotta be honest. You have Ray Rice and you have Adrian Pearson. Ray Rice can only use a left hook, and then Adrian Pearson can only use a tree branch. I'll watch that. I'll replay that constantly. Okay? And also, you know, the only way that I'll be watching that Super Bowl halftime show again, for the first time, because I'll probably be in the shower, or jacking off or something, or just waiting for that shit to get over, would be if there was a wardrobe malfunction somehow involving a chick. I mean, that's basically the only way I'll remember. Alright. So, my thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show, who gives a fuck? If you're above 25, and if you're excited about Maroon 5, just get smacked in the fucking head. What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy fuck, is that annoying. Alright. We've made it this far. We got 3 more topics to talk about. I'll talk about it for a minute or two, and then I'm out of here. You can hear it in my voice. You can hear it in my personality. I am so fucking pissed about my head cold. Anyway. Me talking like this is not helping either. I understand that. So the Mavs and Knicks traded. Okay. My first thought was the Knicks have been tanking for a long time now, since like November 27th or whatever. They don't need Porzingis, so they just got rid of him. They freed up cap space. They got DeAndre Jordan. They got a couple other players. The Mavs have got another couple players other than Porzingis. I think both teams are going to tank. I think both will be a top 5, top 6 draft pick. And they'll do this again. And they'll probably do this again next year. I mean, this is a legitimate problem that Adam Silver has on his hands. More so than the Anthony Davis deal, which I'll get into in just a minute. But everyone's flipping off the Knicks. I'm like, they're 10-40. They're not going to do a whole lot. I think they've realized they've done all they can do with Porzingis at the current time. So then, like, you know what? We'll just go get rid of him. Thank you for all the, because he is a good basketball player. So thank you for all you've done for our city of New York as we continue to fucking suck donkey dick. Alright. Anthony Davis. Now, some of y'all may know the NBA, some of y'all may follow the NBA on a regular basis, and some of y'all may not. God fucking damn it. On Monday, Anthony Davis has made comments that appear to be a request or demand, depending on how you want to use your verbiage, for a trade. Anthony Davis was like, essentially like, I've done all I can do for the city of New Orleans. I want to get traded. Well, on Tuesday, Adam Silver fined Anthony Davis $50,000. Then gets suspended. I don't think got a little reprimand. And this proves my point, and a lot of other people have been saying this. God damn. Alright, I gotta really speed up here. But, you don't think Adam Silver loves this? Adam Silver is probably jacking off thinking about it right now. Anthony Davis and LeBron James on the same team next year in Los Angeles. So later this year, hell, a winner essentially. You know, you don't think he fantasizes about it? He absolutely does. So for $50,000, and you already have a team that sucks, like New Orleans is going nowhere, and you already got more money than anybody. But it doesn't make any difference, and that's all there is to it. He makes $25 million a year on salary, and basically, I'd say another $10 million on endorsements and commercials and incentives and bonuses. So $50,000 he can make up in a day. Okay, you basically took a day's pay away from him. And the thing is, you think you care about tampering, you don't. Okay. He said what everybody has said all along, that he wants to go to Los Angeles as soon as possible. Or a bigger market when he has a bigger chance of winning. That's what every player wants to do. Some of y'all small market teams have to realize that. If you're New Orleans, you might as well say, okay, we want your first round pick, we want a couple of your guys, and we're going to rebuild for the future. That's all you can do. Because he'll leave. If you don't trade him, he'll leave in July 1st. He'll sign the first day of free agency somewhere other than New Orleans. Bet on that shit. So, issuing a fine, they had to do what they had to do, but it was a disgrace, and don't think Adam Silver's upset at all, because he's not fucking two-faced bitch. Anyway, the final story very quickly, I just saw on my, I've been watching ESPN News, and they're showing a Canadian show, and I just saw on the ticker, Dolphins, according to the Miami Herald, are releasing Ryan Tannerhill. Now, my brief thought on that is Ryan Tannerhill is a 500 quarterback. He's 9-7 at best. He might go to a wild card game at best. He's not your end, so yeah, he might do a couple of great falls a year. That's gonna be the synopsis. That's gonna be the sum of his career. Okay, he's nothing special. Miami's done this since the late 90s. None of it's catched on. Do I have to bring back the names? Okay. Dolphins have been terrible for the last 20 years. Mediocre. And that's all they're going to do. Probably next year, too. So, we'll see. But it would not shock me. And do I think Ryan Tannerhill gets a starting job somewhere else? Yes. I don't think he's the starting quarterback, but he'll probably get another chance. And we'll see where he ends up. If he goes to the CFL, if he goes to the Alliance of American Football, whatever. It will be interesting to tell. Anyway, you can hear my voice is fucked up. I have to go take a massive sip of water. But thank you all so much for listening. As always, your feedback and comments have been appreciated. And this is a Hagen Nation Show, episode 3 for February 1st, 2019. Great talking to y'all. Catch you next time. Peace. Good night. I said peace.